Good morning, students. I'm Arindam Bag. So, in our last presentation, I discussed about the first part of an introduction written by Kamala Das. And today we are going to move to the next section. In my last presentation, I have completed uh, this section till this section. Let me mark it for you. Um, Here it is. Till there, yes, I have given the presentation till this section. Now from today we are going to start from this part, and we will continue hereafter. So let us continue with our presentation, with our analysis. So what we have here, not the deaf blind speech of trees in storm, or of monsoon clouds, or of rain, or the incoherent mutterings of the blazing funeral pyre. So she was referring to the importance of language, to the importance of speech, and here she already earlier she mentioned that it is very important for her to speak, just like a crow caws or a lion roars. But speaking doesn't mean that only creating sound. That means some meaningful sounds or meaningful words she wants to say. That's why she compares not the deaf blind speech of trees. You see that trees, no matter what is this weather outside, they don't speak. They just stand and stand in the weather. Maybe it's sunny or maybe it's storm, whatever, or monsoon, whatever is going on. They don't say anything. They don't utter a single word. Or the incoherent mutterings during the funeral pyre. You will hear, if you ever watch any funeral pyre, you will see that while during the burning process, there are some sounds which comes out of the pyre. It because of the woods are burning. That's why. Then she says, I was child, and later they told me I grew. Yeah, obviously we grow. We cannot stay in our age or in our position forever. We will grow. Our body will also transform. So she was a child, and later they told me I grew. So that means she's growing up, and at first, initially in our society, a child, especially a girl, she is allowed to play with anybody without the gender discrimination. But when she becomes more matured, she grows, then there are sort of restrictions which is put on her, that don't go there, don't talk to the boys, don't play with the boys, and things like that. That means the idea of male and female, which was absent previously, when you grow, it has been thrust on us, and people describe in a fashion that you are grown enough, why you are doing so, and things like that. That's why she says, they told me I grew, for I became tall. Yes, he is tall. My limbs swelled. That means the body is changing. There is a transformation. And one or two places sprouted here, which shows our puberty. It's common. During adolescent period, our body transforms. Previously, we were childs only. Later on, the hormonal effect and the biology, the body face many changes. It starts from our adolescent period. She is referring to this particular period. I would like to tell you one thing. She was married when she was only 15. We can say 15 means close to adolescent, or just post adolescent, or for some people 15 is adolescent period. So she was only 15 when she got married. When I asked for love, not knowing what else to ask for, he drew a youth of 16 into the bedroom and closed the door. So when she was looking for love, she don't know what to ask for. The reference here he drew a youth of 16 into the bedroom and closed the door. It's referring to her marriage. She married there, and this particular youth of 16 is just a husband. Pardon my handwriting, because I don't have any, I'm writing with my finger. I don't have any pen or things like that. That fancy gadget, I do not have any. Anyway, I think that serves the purpose. Youth of 16 means it was the husband. She was married, and as per the custom, they are supposed to spend night together. They are supposed to sleep together and close the door. Obviously, that is the custom. He did not beat me, but my sad woman body felt so beaten. Now, from this point, we can see the idea of feminism is, coming out. First time in her life, she is experiencing as a woman. She felt earlier also, but not the way like right now she is facing. She says, what? He did not beat me. Yes, her husband he's not supposed to beat his wife. But my sad woman body, which we can say the idea of being an woman, the soul of an woman, is felt so beaten. She felt kind of mental agony in her. And so this is the transformation, we can say. During her adolescent period, she got married. The weight of my breast and womb crushed me. I shrank pitifully. And now she is getting matured, and being a woman, there are some changes. And she says her weight of my breast and womb, which is the symbol of womanhood, that which these things, while she was supposed to celebrate it being a woman, she feels a sort of burden is on her. Breasts and womb, these are the two prominent things of women. This is a very, very important things for any woman in the world. Instead of celebrating it, she was feeling a sort of weight, the weight of her breast and womb, and it crushed her mentally, obviously. I shrank pitifully. Previously, she was very much jovial. She was open. She was, like innocent. But she realizes the world of the woman is not like the others. They're kind of different. There are restrictions. There are, sort of, what should he say? Abusive. Some people abuse it or exploit it. Seeing all the things, her mind, or rather her activity, shrank. And she says, what? I shrank pitifully. This is a turning point actually. She felt in this way. Instead of celebrating her womanhood, she was confused. She felt that she has been exploited, or rather, she has been beaten, not in the body but in the mind. Then there is from this part you will see a gradual change in her attitude. Then I wore a shirt and my brother's trousers. She rejected her romance. She rejected her feminine side. She tried to wear the shirt of his brothers, trousers of her brothers, cut my hair short and ignored my womanliness. Yeah, I mentioned that one. She is like a rebel. She is rejecting the idea of woman. So normally customary is that the woman should have long hair. Should have long hair. This is a custom, no? So she is a kind of rebel and she immediately cut her hair short and ignored my womanliness. Dress in saris, be girl, be wife, they said. The society tried to put her in a particular dice so that she might fit in the society as per the categorizers. This is what dress in saris. You are supposed to wear sari. You are not supposed to wear trousers or shirt. Be girl. Be wife. Be in a category. Be, they said, be embroiderer. Do some needlework or things like that. Be cook or cook food. Be a quarreler with servants. So these are very stereotypes ideas which was thrust upon her, and it was people were expecting that she might behave like any other woman in the society who do not questions the patriarchy, who do not questions the society, who do not questions about the structure and custom of the society. That's why they were asking. They said fit in. Fit yourself with the customary idea of womanliness. Do that. Oh, belong, cried the categorizers. We have a tendency to categorize everything. Not everything will come to or work according to our idea or concept. Kamala Das is a very open and bold woman who questions the system. Don't sit on the walls or peep in through our lace draped windows. So being a girl, you are not supposed to sit on the walls or you are not supposed to peep through the lace draped windows. And they say what? Be Amy or be Kamala, or better still be Madhvi Kutti. They are looking for an option where they can put Kamala Das. So does the idea of womanliness may stay as per the categorizers. They don't want to break that chain. They want Kamala Das or Amy or Madhvi Kutti to fall in the line. It is time to choose a name or role. They create pressure so that she can choose a name or a role. Don't play pretending games. Don't play at schizophrenia or be a nympho. They are giving names to her. Yeah, you are schizophrenic, you are a nympho, or things like that. It's kind of character assassination. It happens in the society when you do not follow the rules and regulations of the society or the customs of the society. The society is not just a name. We are also society. Human beings, people living in the society, they create this idea. Society is not just a particular person or a particular office. It is us. It is us which create the ideas. And we deliberately or unconsciously put the customs of the society on the people around us. That's why they says, don't play pretending games, don't play at schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a mental illness. Or be a nympho. Nympho means a woman who craves for sex. Don't cry embarrassingly loud when jilted in love. You are not supposed to cry loudly. You are supposed to cry in secret. I met a man, loved him. She met someone, loved him. Call him not by any name. He is every man who wants a woman, just as I am every woman who seeks love in him. It's okay to love someone. It's okay to love someone. As a man, if man can love woman, so does woman can also do the same. But yes, there is something else here. He is every man who wants a woman. Just I am every woman who seeks love. So basically, there is a difference between this male idea and female idea. Here it has been described in such a fashion that uh, he is just a man who is looking for a woman, who is looking for the company of a woman. But as a woman, she was looking for love. In him, the hungry haste of rivers. River has a tendency, it will flow down towards the sea or towards its ends. So does the person also. So does the male also. Male are like rivers. And women are like oceans. They are waiting in their position. The ocean's style is waiting. She was waiting for the love, but she never get it. Who are you? Every time she asked, who are you? I ask each and everyone, the answer is, it is I. So it is the self-representation. It is I. The pride of being, sometimes it is, who I am, it's me. We are like narcissists. We consider ourselves to be the best. That's why I say, it is I. She also describes in such a fashion that every time she asks any male, who are you? This is its I. Anywhere and everywhere I see the one who calls himself I. She actually, literally, she has experienced or seen people who are self-centered. They're always busy with their I, not EYE, but only I. The self character. In this world, he is tightly packed like the sword in its sheath. So she describes these males as tightly packed sword, which is right now in its sheath. It is I who drink lonely drinks at 12 midnight in hotels of strange towns. It is I who laugh. It is I who make love and then feel shame. It is I who lie dying with a rattle in my throat. I am a sinner. I am a saint. I am the beloved and the betrayed. I have no joys that are not yours, no aches which are not yours. I too call myself I. Now, this is the self representation that I am not different from you. I drink at 12 midnight in strange hotels and towns like you do. It is I who laugh. It's perfectly okay to laugh. It is I who make love and then feel shame. Yeah, she loves someone vehemently, then she feel ashamed of that. It is I who lie dying with a rattle in my throat. She feels in this way. I'm a sinner. She considers herself to be a sinner just like any others. I'm a saint to some extent. I did something good. That's why I'm a saint also. I'm the beloved and the betrayed. I received love and sometimes I was betrayed. I have no joys that are not yours. I'm not different from any other human being. I enjoyed my life. Whatever gives pleasure to you gives me pleasure also. I'm a human. No aches which are not yours. As a human being, I'm supposed to enjoy my life. As a human being, I'm supposed to receive pains also. It's not like that I do not feel pain. I also feel pain. I'm a human. That's why I too call myself I. That's why I call myself as I. She is representing herself that yes, it is my soul also. I'm also human being. I have my feelings also. I have also my experience also. That will be all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel and help my channel to grow. Thank you again.